Right, Gary, nice to see you again.
Yes,
thanks
been
for
a while.
To us. Yeah, it certainly has. How have you spent your international break, and how's it been for you?
Yeah, it feels a long time ago since we played Luton, and then obviously not having the game last week. I had date night on the Friday night, so I got some brownie points there. Went to Romeo and Juliet live showing thing. It was very, very good. And then I was at Huddersfield versus Peterborough on the Saturday. So that was my international break.
Do you take great pride in prepping a date night?
I don't prep the date night. I got told where I was going. But the fact that I was available was a giant stride in developments for myself.
That's a big tick in the box.
Yeah.
In terms of getting back to football and getting back into routine, how is this for players at this point?
Well, I mean, it's been stop-start for us in the league, you know. Obviously, we had the cancellation of the Rotherham game, then we have the cancellation of the game against Cardiff. So hopefully now, you know, we can get into that, like you just said there, the routine. And we have had a good week's training. We had an internal game on Tuesday to get us back at match tempo, and you know, that was very beneficial for us as well. But yeah, I think all of us, staff and players, just looking to get into the rhythm of it now.
Plenty of things can change across an international break, and you might have found yourself a completely new fan base and following, Gary, with Toby Sibbick representing Uganda. He's arrived back, and I think Burton Albion have suddenly
exploded. I've been told. Yeah,
it's unbelievable the following from
Obviously, I'm not on Twitter myself, but I've been told, and it's just fabulous. And you know, delighted for Sibs, and obviously he went and played one of the games as well there, and they won. So yeah, they've got a big tournament coming up around Christmas time. So the fact that he's gone and represented the club as well as what he has done and put us on the map, so to speak, is fantastic news. And you know, every bit of interest globally that Burton Albion can get is great.
There is a Ugandan Burton Albion fan page on social media.
Has that just been established?
Over 1,000 followers in the last 2 days.
Marvellous.
So it just goes to show the impact of getting your players international football.
Yeah. And just obviously different markets as well. So yeah. The most important thing was from me was that he come back fit and well. So that was it, and everything else is a bonus for us.
It's been a lot of conversation about taking Premier League football abroad and playing matches there.
Yeah, Burton Albion playing. Yeah, I think somebody texted me something saying, pre-season tour. So we shall see.
Yeah, certainly. Getting back into the full stride of things.
Yeah.
And trying to get back to winning ways. It's been some time since the first game of the season.
Yeah.
How much can this break almost be a bit of a reset point now?
Well, that's what we've used it for. As obviously we've got new arrivals. You know, just even today, Toby's been back in, and we had to introduce him to Alex. We had to introduce him to George Evans because he'd not met them. So it just shows you how long it's been and where we thought it was at. But yeah, it's the window's closed now. All the uncertainty leading up to that's gone. And like we said with the players, it's now a case of focusing for the next couple of months before the madness opens again on ourselves, and getting that, like I say, flow of games now, regular games of league games, and starting picking up points.
Naturally, players like Alex and George, I guess, will benefit from this break as well to get themselves up to speed.
Yeah, settling in, you know, within the group. We've got a very good group, as you know, and any newcomers are always welcome with open arms. And you look at the pair of them and speak with them, you know, they feel exactly that. So that's been a positive. And then just getting some, you know, some minutes into them game-wise and training-wise has been positive. So, you know, like I say, we've now got a period where we can really get some work done with the group.
What's been the difference in the games where you haven't gone on to get 3 points, in the opportunities that you've had, and what's the message you've tried to get across to change that fortune going out of the break?
Well, I don't think the game will ever change, no matter, you know, what wants to come into it. The objective will always be the same, and so far, at both ends of the pitch, we haven't done enough, you know, and that's a collective. It's not down to any one particular individual, as we've said all along, you know. We don't just score through our strikers or just score through Charlie Webster. We need everybody contributing, and that means defenders when they go up for set pieces as well. And likewise from defending, it's not just, you know, the goalkeeper. Our defenders have got to be involved, on midfielders, and we start from the front. So that's what the message has been to everybody, really, is nail down your jobs and start doing your jobs better. And obviously, collectively, is showing that energy and that togetherness.
Has there been a bit of a, I don't know whether reality check's a bit too strong, but
yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Starting the season, those that were here at the end of the season, that look, this is not going to be straightforward. This is going to be a real challenge.
Yeah, I think so. I think also the fact that if you look at the age of what we were going into those first amount of games and the situations that we found ourselves in were scenarios that these have never found themselves in, being 2-0 up, playing against 10 men and having all the ball, you know. What was that? You know, it was like we've been transported and landed on the moon, so to speak. But that's what you get from having a young group, and then obviously they've learned from those experiences, or we certainly hope that we've learned from those experiences now, and that's what they have to go through throughout their careers.
That feels like something you're going to have to contend with a bit this season in terms of learning on the job for
of course.
Players. With the players you've recruited, with the model in which I guess the club wants to go forward in
I understand that.
Space,
yeah.
Learning on the job and almost your role in this must be quite tricky, because I imagine you want to try and test it as much as you can, but you're having to... I
think it's always about the balance. I'll never change my opinion on that. You have to have the balance, you know. You have to have the right seniors in your team, and positionally as well. And, you know, I think congratulations to the England team. They were raving about the England team, weren't they? But I think if you look at the amount of young ones in there, they still had Pickford, you know, Rice, Kane. You know, it's impressive in terms of that. So you always need those senior ones around you to help on the pitch. And it is just about getting that balance right.
Lincoln City here next then. Is there still a bit of a sour taste in the mouth from the cup exit against them? Is there a chance to go back and use that as a...
No, I don't think so. I think if you looked at the changes that we made, it was still, you know, obviously disappointing outcome at the end, but it took a wonderful goal from House, and, you know, he brought the house down, didn't he, with the finish. Do you like that? You like that? But no, you know, it was a wonderful finish from him. That's what it took to settle the tie. But if you look at the team that we had out and the amount of youngsters that we were playing that night, and against a very experienced Lincoln squad, not that, you looked at the changes that we made. So they've gone and, in my opinion, strengthened again in the window, the back end of the window. So we are fully aware of the challenge that lies ahead, but we've had a good week in training, and the players are really looking forward to it.
To start out of the break back at home, to try and get back to winning ways, how big will that be in front of the home support? Well,
the home supporters have been great with us. They've got a great understanding and they've got great patience, haven't they? Unfortunately, throughout the last number of years, they've had to suffer, and through that suffering, they've developed an understanding and a patience. But, you know, we want to try and change the narrative of that. We've said that from the start. But they play their part, and we saw the value of that last season.
Any fitness issues, just to round off?
No, Gilly's been back in training the last couple of days. So I think, you know, TVC was at the specialist again yesterday, just on an update. So we're just waiting the results on that to see how that's progressing. But he's walking fine. Jonesy's making good progress, but again, and same with Jack Hazelhurst, he's back out on the grass, but they're going to be a while yet.